Miniart 1/35 Grant Mk1. Painting the interior, photo etch, tracks, wheels, loads of stuff. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, hello. It's good to have you with us. Right, this is where we got to last time. Quite a bit to cover this time. So it's the basic hull. I have primed the inside with a VMS black primer, and now we shall carry on. So, say loads to get through today. We'll start off just by painting the interior. This is with AK 3rd Gen off-white. Just a white coat, really. Good covering all over. I'm not that bothered because there's only going to be some very small windows open, so a lot of this isn't going to be seen. It's not a fully detailed interior, but I just want to give a representation of what's in there when you do look through the hatches. Okay, while that's drying, I thought it'd be a good time to make up the wheels and the drive bogies. I didn't realise how long this was going to take. The paint was definitely dry. Each pair of wheels has 12 parts on the bogie, and they sort of fit together easily. No, they don't really. They do in the end, but you have to work at it. And certainly doing the first one was a nightmare. So I clean up all the wheels just with a sanding sponge, just to make sure they're all nice and round, and got rid of all the moulding marks. Okay, and once they were all cleaned up, it was time to build them. Trying to work out which way round everything goes. You see, I'm still thinking about it there. So you push that rod through the hole, and it's really tight, really tight. I had to give it a good push down with my clippers, just making sure that I pushed down directly so I didn't bend anything. And then that goes the other way. That's it. So that goes that way, and then just drop a glue to hold it in place. And a bit in there. So that's the two wheels. And then next you build the bogies. And I found the easiest way to do it was to put these two together. So just a bit of glue to get those in place, and then we'll fit everything in around them, if that makes sense. A lot of this model is working out the best way to do stuff, and it's not necessarily the way the instructions want you to do it. So the top roller goes in, and you can see it's all constantly trying to separate itself. That's meant to spin so you don't glue it in, but I did because I didn't see it's important. Okay, so once that's in, then you can start building the rest of it and squeezing it in. So it's the springs next on the arms, and again it's all about working out which way everything goes. There's very subtle differences between the inside and the outside of a part. So get them on, but don't glue them, and then so you have to squeeze that into the gap. And this isn't how the instructions told you how to do it, but this is the best way I could come up with without it all falling to bits constantly. Glue them in, and then squeeze the wheels in. And again, the wheel has to go through that little gap. And then the other wheel fits obviously on the other side. And then I discovered that I got it wrong, so I had to take it all to bits. So you really had to make sure that they were the right way around. Look, I've gone all the way back to the beginning. Turn that round and then start again. Hopefully you'll like seeing me make mistakes, because there's nothing worse than people building models flawlessly every time, when we all know that that's not how it works. So I choose to leave my errors in, and hopefully you guys appreciate that. Let me know in the comments if you do like that, or if you just want to see a really clean build that we all know is unachievable. Okay, we got there in the end. So there you go. They look quite nice when they're done. Obviously, I'm still making mistakes. That was the sixth one I did. There are the rest of them. I think there is one where I've got a bit upside down. But there you go. Right, onto the weathering of the inside now that the white paint's dry. So this is Abteilung Sepia oil paint, which is like my go-to pin wash. And again, I didn't realise just how long this next process was going to take. There are so many rivets holding this tank together. So I'm applying it as a pin wash around every raised surface detail, all the pivot rivets, all the panel lines, and just making it nice and grimy and something a bit interesting to look at when you look through the hatches. You can see I just worked in small sections and let it dry a little bit, not too much. And then this is me blending it away with odourless thinners. Blending it away to nothing, spreading it out over all the visible white, just to make it interesting. And yeah, it's just something to look at when you look through the door. Okay, so that's how it ended up. That's the whole of the inside done. It's not my finest work, but no one's going to see it. I couldn't believe how long it took, and I'm really dreading doing the outside of the tank. Right, let's get on to something else. Let's put the wheels on. They actually go on quite easily. Just a bit of Tamiya extra thin, and then onto the moulding. That fits a cutout on the back of the wheels. Okay, so there you go. So that's one side done, and then the other side's just the same. Right, and then the best moment of any model is getting it standing on its wheels. So it's coming together now. It's starting to look like a tank, which is good. I also sort of pre-assembled most of the turret. I've left it open just so that I can paint the interior. Again, I'll do that white, but that went together really nicely. And again, I've got hatches open. I've got a driver to go in it as well, and that Goes on there, really starting to look like a tank now. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. It's coming together now. There is one thing a tank needs though. Let's move on to the tracks. Now don't get me wrong, I love building tanks. I love painting tanks. I love making tanks. But this bit I hate. Absolutely hate. Each track link is made up of 4 parts. So there's the bottom rubber pad, the top rubber pad that's on the inside, and then the 2 joining pins that join them together. This is not the way the instructions tell you to do it, but this is the way that I found worked the best. The instructions had you balancing everything and then putting the inside pad in, but that really didn't work. So what I've been doing is sticking the 2 pads together around the existing pins and then forcing the holes open again while there's a little bit of glue just sort of tacking it together and squeezing them in and moving on. Each track needs 79 of these, and it took hours. I've only done 1 so far, but it is a really long job. Just get some music on, block everything out. Once you're into the swing of it, you know what you're doing. It's okay. The only trouble is that you have to keep breaking your rhythm to cut some more bits off the sprue, basically. But they all work. They all move independently. I'm using my little jig that some of you may have seen in my half-track videos, which I will link to at the top there. But there you go.
A few moments later.
So there's a small run of them. I'm marking every 10th one so I can keep track. And yeah, it's taken a while.
A few moments later.
So I think that was about 3.5 hours work. But look at them. They're brilliant. They all curl together. They're really nice. And they really work well. I've just got to find time to do the other one now. Right, on to some more photo etch. So this is the I think it's just the carrier for all the tarps and the bags. But I just thought it would be good for you to see my bending process. So these first ones are the brackets that hold it onto the tank. I'm just using my tweezers because it's a very simple bend. They just form a U shape. 6 of them on each side, and then we'll come in and do the other bits. So that's the last one bent, and now we can put them on. Just a dab of super glue onto the body of the tank where the marks are, and then you have to be careful that one of them's got a slightly longer side to the other, and it's literally one shot straight on. And into those goes a long guess, runner type thing that, say, all the bags hang on to. So it's time to get my bending tool out, just to form the front bracket that holds this onto the tank. You've seen me use this before. You just put it in place, line it up with the line, and then I always push it down and then tighten it to make sure that it's gripped the piece in the right place. And then just using my scalpel blade, it's not quite straight. So there you go, tighten it up, and then just with my scalpel blade, just make sure I bend the right piece. So it's just that face there that I need to lift. So lift that up to 90 degrees. And then fold it 90 degrees the opposite way to make it meet with the edge, and then it will form like a right angle. Dab of glue and then fold it up to meet it. Okay, so let's get that onto the tank. You can see I've already done the other side. So just a dab of glue at the front, and then it sort of goes into all those hangers that we put on before, and keeps jumping out. But once it's all in, see, I put that one in, the back one jumps out. I think I then decided just to go with that one in, and then we'll drop the others in as we glue them in. So dab of glue on the tank, and then that into position. Bit of pressure just to get it to bond, and away we go. You can see I've done a few other extra bits like the headlamps and the tools on the front half of the tank. This now gets held into these brackets, and each one requires just a dab of glue just to hold it in place. And it's sort of held off the tank. I guess it's for tying bags around and that sort of thing. We will use it for when we do all the stowage, so it is worth putting on. I had a lot of thought about whether to put this on before or after I paint the tank, because obviously I'm leaving the tracks off at the moment, which means that the side skirts can't go on until the track's been painted and put in. So the whole thing about this kit is just almost looking at the instructions and then working out what's the best order for you, rather than the order that they do it in. Because at the end of the day, they come up with they build a tank on paper and complete it without having to paint it. Whereas when we're building it, our orders might be different in order to get paint into the right places. Yeah, so I've jumped about a bit, and hopefully I haven't missed anything. That's always the worry. Okay, and then the final part of this section is putting some little squares that you make up onto that long brass bit that we've just put on. I think this again is something to do with hanging the bags, but they weren't the most complicated thing, but I thought I'd show you the whole process. So there you go, guys. That's as far as I'm taking it for this episode. We're nearly there on the building. So I don't really like build videos because I think they're quite boring. Let me know what you think. So let's get on to some painting next week. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me some comments. Let me know how I'm getting on, because I really do like the feedback. And I'll see you next time. Bye.